This is the one thing I really can't forget on this trip, and I spent about 6 hours 2 days ago looking for it, and I leave in 3 days. I'm sure anybody who's got a photo or video business has at one point seen and maybe even asked themselves if doing a photography or videography workshop is right for them, especially if somebody's business is doing well and they're wondering how they can kind of like take it to the next level. And I think a workshop for a lot of people comes to mind. For me, for a long time, it's been something I've stayed away from, mainly because of the high price tag, and I think it's something that most people, 99.9% of people, can be as successful if they didn't do it, if they did. Does that make sense? I think I missed a word. A question I wanted to answer for myself, and hopefully in doing so, answering that for myself, I can answer it for other people. Is a workshop worth it? Criteria for a workshop I set for myself when I was searching was it has to be high-end in the sense that you're really getting the value for your money. I have seen some workshops that are a day, you get 2 or 3 locations, nothing is planned out, 10 grand, ridiculous prices. I will leave a bit of information at the end of this video about the workshop I am taking so you can see if that is something that might fit your needs. I can't yet answer the question if it's worth it or not. What I can answer is, what am I planning on taking with me for a 4 or 5 day, I can't remember off the top of my head, excursion into the Italian Dolomites, where there will be helicopter rides, a lot of hiking, and I also buffered 2 or 3 days on both ends of the trip for myself so I can go explore and I'm not just hustle. All the gear that I'm bringing, it needed to be 3 things. These 3 things, let's see if it focuses. I need the gear to be light, multifunctional, and at least on the trip, I can guarantee I'm gonna use it 2 or 3 times. Otherwise, it's not going in my bag. A great item for that 2 or 3 times thing is I have this Insta360 X4, and right now the only thing I can imagine is throwing it on a long selfie stick and sticking it out the helicopter, which I don't even know if I'll be able to do, so it doesn't really meet that criteria. I don't think I'm gonna bring it. What am I going to bring? First and foremost, my main camera, which is filming right now, is a Sony a7 IV, and I will be bringing, as my main lens, with a ND filter, Sigma 24-70, super light, really nice compact lens, very sharp. I went with a Tiffin filter. We can fly our drones, so I will be bringing, this fits, oh hello August, that's my cat. This fits in the light category as well as something I know I'll be using several times, DJI Mini Pro 4, something along those lines. Shoots both vertical and horizontal, so I can get a lot of uses out of this, not just for YouTube stuff, but potentially for TikTok as well. And then also just, drones are super fun, as long as you fly them safely and correctly. Let's not stray too far away from lenses. This is sort of a risk. This is a 80 to 200 film camera lens, like old 35mm film camera lens. This lens is awesome for packing quick. I doubt I'll use this a ton. I know I'm probably going to stick to the 24-70, but if I do need to zoom in, I can. The manual focus on this is super sharp. For an old lens, it's very sharp. And size-wise and weight-wise, it really beats a large modern day, like a G Master 70 to 200. But speaking of film camera, that does have several uses, because I'm also bringing my Minolta XG9. I need to put some leather on the front here before I go, with a 28mm macro lens on it, and I'll probably be bringing just 3 or 4 rolls of film. This one will probably stay attached to my hip at all times. I'm not sure if it's going to go in my bag. And I can also throw that 28mm is very soft, so I can throw it on my Sony if that's kind of what I'm looking for, if I'm going for that dreamy look. Obviously, I'll be bringing a couple different hard drives. One SSD to work off of, and one hard drive for storage. Along with that, I'll be bringing this Hyper EcoSmart little doohickey. It has SD, micro SD, 2 USBs, 2 micro USBs, 1 micro, or Type C. 1 Type C for fast charging, and then HDMI. I doubt that I'll have access to other monitors, but in the off chance that I do, I'll be able to connect to them. And then speaking of what I'll be doing all of that through, this is my laptop. I don't remember what it's called, but it kicks ass. It's got like a 40 something or other in it. Super lightweight, super slim profile, Fits in my backpack very nicely. Love that it's all black. It is technically a gaming laptop, but it doesn't look like one, which I really appreciate. So yeah, that is where I'll be potentially doing some editing, storing everything, doing all of my data transfer, all that stuff. And then I'll be bringing this Anchor, or whatever it says upside down, Anchor battery pack that is currently powering my light. What else haven't we gone over? Not sure if I'm gonna bring this yet. I have a couple content ideas with this. This is a really old 5 megapixel Canon PowerShot. This used to be my grandpa's. There's a couple sort of content ideas I have with it. To be specific, it's the PowerShot A6100. If I do end up making anything, maybe I'll put a link or anything about this. What went there? Was there something here? Oh, right. Hard drive. It is a photo workshop, and trust me, I will be taking pictures. At the same time, I'm going to be taking videos. For stable footage, I'll be bringing the DJI Ronin RS3. Lovely little gimbal. One of the first gimbals, I think that they added the locking mechanism, so when you turn it off, it actually folds up with the camera on it and locks up. It's not all jangly. It's nice and tight. We are going to be doing a decent amount of hiking, so having something that I know I can just carry like a briefcase with the Sony a7 IV and the Sigma 2470 on it, it's going to be really nice. Pretty much all of this can actually fit into my backpack. And yeah, backup camera real quick. In case something happens to the a7 IV, I will be bringing old trusty, my baby, my Sony a7S II. She'll be in the backpack at all times, ready to go. Can fit all the same lenses, all the same SD cards. Shoots S-Log 3, but I'll probably put it in S-Log 2 just because I think it is 8-bit footage. And GoPro Hero 10 Black. I can see myself using this quite a bit in the airport, stuff like that. Vlog-wise, if I go swimming, love to take this for just some POV shots. And in the off chance that I get to train, I could film it with this, make sure that parkour footage doesn't get mingled in with, you know, all of the nice footage that's going to be on my camera. Also, I love the GoPro because it's really low profile, so if I do want to film something, I don't have to bust the whole camera rig out. Boom! Rode Wireless Go 2. I have 2 sets of these. One's on my hat, there's the other set. Anything else? If I do end up bringing, if I convince myself to bring the X4, the Insta360 X4, I'll bring this 10-foot monopod. It's really, in my opinion, the only way to use a 360 camera, is to get in tight spaces and make fake drone videos. Along with that, I'll be bringing the usual camera batteries, SD cards, all those things, backup SD cards, backup batteries. I have a Sharpie, I'm gonna label everything, and a trusty notebook, so I can write everything down in, super important. I'll bring some drawing pencils in case I wanna draw. Not sure if I'll bring a drawing notebook. I don't wanna weigh myself down with a bunch of paper. And last but not least is what will carry it all, is the greatest backpack I think ever made. At least the way that I like to backpack things. This Storer backpack. This is a backpack that's made by kind of probably the most well-known parkour company, Storer. It's very unique in the way that it opens. I love it. It's got a shit ton of room. I actually went through and I reinforced every stitch on here and every, you know, oh, I need to do that one. But down here, so I reinforced all the stitches on this bag just in case. It hasn't failed me yet. I've had it for several years. As you can see, it opens up. Yeah, super weird, almost like a duffel bag. It's got all these interior pockets. I have 3 different bags sectioned out for drone stuff, for batteries, charging, SD cards, and then for camera stuff that fit perfectly into here. So you can zip it up, access whatever you need whenever you need, and I don't have a big jumble of stuff in here. I just really do not like those camera bags that have the section dividers with the Velcro. I find them so useless. This is so nice compared to that. If I need to, I can roll this bag up. It's got this top pocket with a ton of space as well. It looks slick as well. And honestly, I had an Italian friend of mine be careful getting out of the airport in Milan. There's these, what she call them? She called them gypsies, and she said they have more money than anyone else in the area, but they sit there and they bag. And there are people there who will try and pickpocket you. This bag is odd in the way that it's structured, and I hope that confuses people. And it's got a fantastic laptop pocket as well. ton of space to hang things out the front. And then this front pocket is where I keep my notebook. It's very deep, so you can put quite a few things in here, actually, more than just a notebook. This is gonna be controversial, people are gonna hate me for it, but I actually just use 2 extra, like a lens cap and its partner to store SD cards. I find it way safer. I mean, this is watertight once it's closed. You can put a little foam in there or something so they don't jostle around if you're worried about that. And yeah, again, multifunctional, multi-purpose. Going through that did feel like a lot of gear, but when I was packing everything, I was constantly checking things off. No, I don't need this. I don't want to bring that. I don't need this. All of this can fit in one bag. Oh, one more thing. If we're going to be hiking at dark, at night, whatever, if you know, you know, Milwaukee brand headlamp. 2 ways I kind of looked at this as I was putting this together and making the decision to actually do a workshop is, where's the workshop? What am I going to get out of it? And that is going to be for future videos. Hopefully I will answer those questions. But the other question I wanted to answer is, what can I get with the gear that I currently have? I'm very blessed and very fortunate to have the gear I do have. It's not top of the line, but it's not bottom of the line either. I've worked very hard to get to it and to have this gear, and so I want to put it to good use. And that right there, that conclusion led me to confidently say, yes, doing a workshop is something that I can get value out of, not only in connections I get to make, experiences I get to have with hopefully really cool people, but also I get to actually, it is really cool getting to share experiences with other people. And obviously gear doesn't matter. I know we've heard that a million times, but there comes a point when there's a threshold of what type of gear can you yield specific results with. What's your goal? What are you trying to do with your business? And for me, having this type of gear so that I can go out and do these sort of adventure-esque, elopement-esque types of films are really important to me, and those are the stories that I really love to tell. The only stories I'd really love to tell more than that is potentially Lord of the Rings. I would have loved to have been on that. Potentially, if they've got room for anybody on The Hunt for Gollum, I could be a contender. Whatever's clever. But for now, if your gear looks like this and you can fit it in one backpack, I think you're on the right track to making sure that you're actually enjoying the experience and not overburdening yourself with gear. I think at the end of the day, that's really why I made this video, is I have done trips before, and literally a full 60-pound backpacking backpack I've filled with camera gear, used 20% of what was in it, and spent more time worrying about where my gear was, how it was packed, than I did truly enjoying the experience. And hopefully, from now to when I get home, I'll have filmed enough stuff to be able to truly answer, is it worth doing a photo or video workshop, and who should you go with? For a bit of info on the workshop that I'm doing, the workshop is being put on by Tyler Rye. He's a photographer, travels quite a bit, father, husband, seemed like someone I could connect to on those levels. And I'm excited to see what he has to say about how he's decided to run his business and interact with clients, people, the world. Unfortunately, I can't bring Anduril the reforged shards of Narsil, the Flame of the West. But I just thought it looked pretty back there, and I can't have it up there the whole time without showing you the sword and just teasing you with you seeing it. So here it is. Battle ready. Forged in Japan. Ready? Beautiful. Okay, if you like this style of content and you want to see more stuff from me in the future, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. It really helps me out. And there's goulash upstairs, and I'm gonna go eat it. Okay, goodbye. Thank you.